Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just thought I'd film a second part to how to fight inflation since I think a lot of you guys wanted to see a second part. So in this video, I'm just going to meal prep a few things. Well, not even meal prep, just preparing some of the ingredients for the week whilst I have this chat with you guys. So I'm not actually cooking, just preparing a few things. Anyways, let's get straight into it. My next point in terms of how to save money and fight inflation would be minimizing waste. So I know a lot of households think that they're saving money and whatnot, which is a good thing, but I think a lot of us also waste food without realizing, and I'm definitely guilty of this, but I have been trying to make a conscious effort to reduce my waste. So maybe you could implement a few rules where once a month you might dedicate a week to just cooking from your fridge or freezer. So you might have a $50 grocery budget each week for an adult, and 1 week every month you might want to cut it down to $20 for that week. So you can buy some supplementary ingredients that you can use to cook from leftover bits and pieces from your fridge at home. So that's something that I think would be a good idea, because often there's always leftovers in my fridge. I might have half a can of tomatoes in the fridge, half an onion lying around, some one or two sad looking vegetables, and I often just throw everything together and turn it into a meal. So for example, if I've got some leftover veggies, an egg, what I can do is basically cook ramen noodles, but add the veggies in, poach an egg in. You can even add a protein in, and it's a pretty nice holistic meal and relatively affordable as well. So when you're doing those type of challenges, it encourages you to be creative and you're saving money. And every now and then when I do those type of things, I actually end up creating something new that's a little bit weird but quite tasty. So it's a fun thing to do, for me at least anyways. And another thing I wanted to go through with you guys is don't get sucked into the reward points when doing the shopping challenges, because I used to always do the Flybuys challenge where you spend a certain amount 4 weeks in a row and you get 10,000 bonus points. So that converts to about $50, which is pretty good. However, I have stopped doing that because I've noticed Coles and Woolies have significantly jacked up the pricing of their goods. So it's actually not worthwhile anymore, in my opinion, because there's no point me spending that amount when I'm getting significantly less food, because really those points are for the prices of items that they've jacked up. So I don't really do those challenges anymore because I find that I get more bang for my buck shopping at like little Asian grocers or those little Middle Eastern shops. Things are so much cheaper there. But certain things I do go to Coles and Woolies. For example, I think their frozen vegetables are quite decent. Dog food I'll get from Coles and Woolies, and canned food. However, things like eggs and like proteins like chicken and fish, I normally go to Costco because it's a lot cheaper. I don't go to Costco every single week because it's not near me. It's about a 25-minute drive away from mine. So I do go to Costco probably once every 2 to 3 months. It really depends, and that's when I bulk buy a lot of my things. So I'm sure you guys have noticed when I do my grocery hauls at Coles and Woolies, you don't see me purchase very much protein because I do all of that at Costco, and I just do little bits of shopping here and there at Coles and Woolies because I find that's more cost effective for me. Things like eggs are like 50% cheaper at Costco than Coles and Woolies, according to my calculations, and spinach. A lot of things are a lot cheaper at Costco for those who have a Costco near them. Bear in mind, petrol's also cheaper at Costco, I find, but the queues are very long. Things like roast chicken is also half the price compared to Coles and Woolies, or almost half the price, because Coles and Woolies sell it for $11 or $12 a whole roast chicken now, and Costco sells it for $6.99. Also guys, in my previous video, I did touch on markdown shopping. I just wanted to go through a little bit more, I guess, in detail in regards to that. If you're wanting to know all the other points that I covered in markdown shopping, just watch the previous video, which I uploaded recently. But with markdown shopping, I think it's a good idea to have a game plan. So yes, find out what time they generally mark down their items. And two, write a list of things that you're willing to spend on markdown items. So for example, if it's a new product that you haven't tried before and you want to try that, put that on the list, because maybe you're more open to paying for it when it's marked down. Or if you're specifically hunting for like bread to stock up in your freezer or something, add that onto your list. That way, when you do go shopping and you see marked down items, you're not tempted. So I often see cookies and junk food on sale, marked down, but I don't see very many proteins or vegetables, and I don't have a need for cookies, so I tend to stay away from that even when it's marked down. Unless I have an event or something that I need to take with me and it's on the list, then I would purchase it. Because I did mention in my other video, if you don't generally purchase an item and you're only purchasing it because it's marked down, you're actually spending money instead of saving money. Like that cookie example that I give you guys that example because I have been guilty in doing that quite a few times. Whereas if I see like a cookie marked down to like 50 cents or something, I used to buy it when my intention wasn't even to purchase cookies in the first place. So technically I didn't save money, I spent money, and it's not healthy for me because I got to think in the long term, right, guys? If I'm constantly buying markdown cookies, that's slowly going to become a habit of mine, which means I'm consuming that on a regular basis, which obviously is going to affect my health in the long run. Another thing to consider, guys, is the cost per weight when you're purchasing items, because you want to work out how much it's going to cost you per kilo. Also, shop the specials, guys. Don't just go in and buy whatever you want to eat. Try and get into the habit of buying what's on sale and stocking up on that. Eventually, when you have a large enough stockpile, you have the luxury of just picking whatever you want to eat at a discounted price from your home shop. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed.